So we've just had a second day of visiting schools. These are schools which have been receiving Mary's meals for some time now. We visited one in a place called Dort, and it was great to see that the programme is running so smoothly there. We also met this amazing lady called Pasquale Halamari, who told us the story about how she and her family had to flee into the hills behind the school during the conflict. And they had to stay up there for several days, for several weeks in fact, while the soldiers were in the village, and from the hills they could see the soldiers coming to the village and then hear the gunshots, and knew that they had to stay in hiding while that was going on. And she was there trying to protect her 7 children who were with her, and they were desperately short of food, living in caves, drinking puddled water and eating berries and leaves from the trees until they could return to their homes. And when they got home, they found then that the soldiers had taken all the food from their house, taken all of the valuable possessions that they had, and so they were left with very little except for the buildings themselves. But they are all doing well. They are safe. The children are now back in school and receiving Mary's meals. And she spoke very passionately about how important those meals were for her children. And then we visited another village called Debrecen, and that was great again to see that the programme is back up and running there. But also we could see very clearly the signs of the conflict, damage to the school buildings. We visited one of the classrooms where there was just broken glass and torn and burnt textbooks all over the floor, smashed windows and bullet holes in the sides of the building. And then in the playground there was a huge scorched area, and that was from when the soldiers had taken out all the school furniture and burnt it before they had left. So it's a really awful kind of vandalism of the school. That means that many of the children are now sitting on the floor for their lessons, but they're being fed every day in the schools. There was quite a number of children that were suffering malnutrition at the school, but they are now receiving Mary's meals and doing much better. And they were saying that there's maybe still 60 or 70 students that are suffering quite serious acute malnutrition, but that would be several times higher if it wasn't for the school feeding programme, and they hope that those numbers, that those children will recover soon. So a really interesting day, and some quite scary and worrying things, but also some really uplifting things.